capitalism on one side, or consumerism on one side, and on the other side of the banner, equally dangerous, is this notion of faith supremacy inspiring, untold violence. And is the squeeze going to destroy civilization as we can practice it?
See whether it is an industrial nation which wants to be supreme or a faith which wants to be supreme, there's no difference between them. I don't see any difference because they will employ the same means towards the same ends. I hear a lot of people everywhere in India these days saying, India is going to be superpower. I say, that'll be ashamed of it. I will be ashamed if India becomes a superpower. I don't want India to be a superpower. I want to see that the world lives in an equitable way. Every country has its place on the planet and every human being has his place on the planet. Rather than somebody else is superpower and you're suffering that, and now you want to be the same nonsense, that is one thing we don't want to be. We want to see our people are well-fed, we want to see that human beings fulfill their aspirations in their life. We don't want to be a superpower. These aspirations should be given up. These things have come from a past when our entire structuring of economy was always structured in such a way that 80% of the people will suffer for the happiness and comfort of 20% of the population. But in the end it worked out, 90% of the people started working for 5 to 6% people's well-being and comfort. That is changing now because we have really moved away from what we have referred to till now as capitalism. Capitalism existed when capital was in the hands of the few. In India, if you look back, just 50 years ago, maybe 50 to 100 families held the capital. Nobody else had access to capital, no matter what you wanted to do. The same is true with every country in the planet. Today it is not so. If you have an idea and you know how to execute it, there is capital. Capital is not the problem anymore. So this is no more capitalism, but this is market economy. In the market there is demand for arms, somebody will supply. If you don't supply, somebody else will supply. So this is a vicious cycle. If you allow the market forces to decide everything, this is how it will go. We don't know what people will have in their hands tomorrow morning. It may so happen if somebody produces a pocket nuclear bomb, a lot of people will carry it. And technologically, it may not be too far away. So, we need to understand this. What is missing on the planet is this. Our science and technology in terms of having mastery over physical world around us has taken leaps and bounds. But our ability to take charge of ourselves as human beings, we've not paid attention to that. That's why, this country's culture is important because this country invested more on the inner well-being of the human being than on the external success. Because we understood external success is fine, it creates comfort and convenience. Beyond that, it won't work. But right now we are in a situation, as a nation, I'm saying, when half our people are malnourished, as somebody was just saying. We have the highest level of malnourishment. My involvement with rural India is a painful involvement. Every time you walk into your village, you see 60% of the people, even their skeletal systems have not grown to full size. It feels terrible that you have eaten well in the morning and come there, and there are children looking at you without food in their stomachs. It's a terrible experience for me every time I go there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, when this is the condition, only thing that we need is quick economic development. That quick economic development, at what cost it will come, is something that we have to look at. To just give one example, for example, in Tamil Nadu there's one town called Tirupur. It's a Hosari town, an export-oriented town, where normally an average labor class also earns 3 times what they earn in Coimbatore, which is just 50 kilometers away. So generally people's incomes are 3 to 4 times higher than anywhere else. Last Diwali, not this one, 2014 Diwali, in the entire state of Tamil Nadu. And that day, it seems they sold 36 crores worth of liquor on the Diwali day. That's a drinking day, okay? And Tirupur town accounted for some 27 crores of liquor in one day. So now, if economic well-being comes, either you will find them in the gutter or in the hospital, because 42% of Tamil Nadu's population is turning diabetic. Why? Because little economic prosperity. So economic prosperity without inner balance, economic prosperity without culturing your interiority can be a major disaster. So as we progress economically, it's very, very important that human consciousness also must raise. If that doesn't happen, then these disasters are just a consequence of not having paid attention to individual human beings. All our fixes are mass fixes. There is no mass here. There is just you and you and you. There is no mass population here. It is only politicians, religious leaders, others who are counting numbers who simply look and say, this is mass. There is no mass, there is only individual people. Without transforming individual people, life cannot change. But transforming individual people means it's a lifelong work. You can't do it with one slogan. With one slogan today, you move a mass of 10,000 people and you think you transform them. No. Individual transformation will cost life, involvement with people. It's an endless amount of work. That has not been done in the world, not enough. See, there is no infrastructure in the world, either physical or human infrastructure, to transform the individual human being, first of all. They say 150 years ago, 94% of the US population was illiterate. Today it's 100% not just literate, reasonably educated population. How does this happen? Somebody built the schoolroom, somebody trained the teachers, isn't it? Similarly, if something within has to happen in the human being, where is the infrastructure, either physical or human infrastructure, where is it? We have not done anything about it. Individual organizations are trying to do something, but there is no concerted effort across the world as to how to transform the individual. When I say transform the individual, every human experience has a chemical basis to it. We know today that what you call as peace is a certain kind of chemistry, what you call as joy is another chemistry, ecstasy is another chemistry, agony is another chemistry. Every human experience has a chemical basis. Or in other words, this is just a chemical soup. The question is just that, are you a great soup or a lousy soup? If you're feeling lousy right now, you are capable of being nasty to anybody who comes by. But if you are feeling wonderful right now, if anybody comes by, you naturally respond wonderfully. We have always tried to produce good people. This is a serious mistake. We need joyful and sensible people. We have not worked for it. That's why we're paying the price.
In reference to even